Okay, start.
వినిపిస్తుందండి? Okay. Good morning to all. I'm Dr. Sugna. I'm the professor in the Department of Community Medicine. Uh, First of all, I welcome you all to our Department of Community Medicine. I think I came to know that you are the batch who have just joined the medical school. So, congratulations once more. Today we are going to discuss about the human behavior. Why people want to behave like that. So, that is nothing but it is sociology. But this is in context of medicine. Coming to your specific learning objectives, at the end of the class, you should be able to define what social sciences mean, and then you should know the difference between community health and clinical medicine. Then describe the social factors which influence health of people, and what is society and what is acculturation. Introduction. Social sciences, it is also a science, and it is one among the scientific disciplines. Then it is deals with economics. Do you all think that economics is very much related to health of an individual? Yes or no? I think you all know that it is very much related to that. And why you all think that political science is related to health? If there is no political commitment, then none of the programs can be implemented in a country. So political is very very important. So political science. Then you know that sociology and psychology, they go together. They are like sisters. A psychologist wants to find out why people behave like that, and a sociologist thinks that it is he wants to find out the pattern of the behavior. So they go together. And then the anthropology is your measurements. It's very important. So measurements, we if we want to say that the child is healthy, we measure the height and weight of the child at regular intervals. So that is anthropology. So now you all know that social sciences is, it's a very broad discipline which deals with all these things, and it is grouped as a behavior sciences, and they deal with scientific examination of human behavior. Human behavior is very much important in relation to our health and disease. So we have to understand the society and its behavior if we want to control any disease or any epidemic. You all may not be knowing what epidemic means. I will use very simple language till you all come to know about the public health jargon. So understanding the human behavior in health, illness, sickness, etc. So it contributes to the understanding of society and human behavior, which is very much related to medicine. Let's start with economics. Economics is your resources. So, if in any country, if you want people to be healthy, you should ensure that the resources which are available in that country should be used efficiently. It deals with not only production, but how it is distributed and how it is consumed, and who are the owners of the resources. Like capitalism, we do not know who is the, like, always the business people, they are the owners of most of these industries and all. So goods and services, that is commerce. So this is all very much it's inbuilt in economics. So we are concerned with the cost, effect and benefit. So health economics is application of principles of economics in the field of health. So administrations and policy makers, they want to see desired returns from the investments made. So it is how they want to find out whether what we have invested is there an output or not in terms of health is by calculating the by doing the analysis of the cost which they have spent and what is the output they have got it, what is the outcome. So it is the cost analysis, cost benefit and cost effect analysis. You will be coming across all these cost benefit cost effect analysis later when we take the classes as you go to the second year third year and all. So it is used for evaluating the performance of the health services. Ultimately when we want to spend something, we should ensure that there is a benefit that for any service. So similarly for the health service, so this is how they calculate and evaluate the performance of health services. Economics is as close relationship with sociology, and it is a, I told you all that it is a part of sociology and it deals with human relationships, which I told you all about production, distribution, consumption, goods and services. So economics and sociology, they overlap. Coming to political sciences it is the one which deals with the, it's a system of laws and institutions making laws. Why do you all think that law is essential to maintain the health of people? Yes, if few of the laws are very much essential. Like for example, now in this COVID era, what is the law which all the countries have imposed that anyone who travels, who crosses the borders, they have to see that they are vaccinated and also they had to get tested for the COVID. So this is nothing but it is a law. It is which everyone have to obey. It's an order. And there are institutions for making laws. What are the institutions? It is judiciary. Mainly it is the judiciary and which makes the laws. So coming to the formation and functioning of political institutions, when you look at our Indian rural system, wherein 70% of the population lives in the villages, we have the Gram Panchayat. Gram Panchayat is at the village level. Above it is the Jilla Parishad. And if it is an urban area, it is the municipal council. And it focuses on processes with these institutions. All these have to function if they want to see that their population is healthy. They are concerned with making institutions more efficient. Historically, when you look at economics and political science, they tend to be like single discipline, same, they overlap. And it is the study of law as well as institutions, it is one and the same. So it constitutes the governments of whole societies. So government, political means government. So it deals with the power. Whenever when there are elections, we will be very curious to know who will get elected, because we want to know who will be like power at the highest level, and their responsibilities. So we want to know whether they are going to take care of we people of that country. So whenever there are elections, we want to see that ultimately it's not only the power of the political party, but it is also their responsibility to take care of the people who are living in the country by allocating the right resources for the right people, and even working with the political institutions. What are the political institutions which I told you all? They are the Gram Panchayat, Jilla Parishad, and in urban it is municipal council. You will be coming across all these things. Today it may look like it's a new subject and a new topic, but as you go on later, then you will get used to these words. Anthropology, I already told that it is the it means that it is the man and the science dealing with the man, and it has natural ties with uh, strong ties with natural sciences. And there are three branches: one is physical, cultural, and social. And we have to be health is related to all these three batches. So I'm not able to see where I can actually make it as a slideshow. Yeah. Um, so coming to physical anthropology, physical means it is physical structure. So it is related with biology and the social surroundings of the man, and studying in the primitive stage, which includes all the things like what are the different races, what was the differentiation, and what is the inheritance of our body traits. Do you all think that it is very much related to health? Yes, genetic disorders, they all are related to inheritance of our body traits. Cultural anthropology, it is related to study of the culture. So how culture has developed in human groups. That's very important. It is the study of how to see how the culture has developed in different human groups. Then social, it is again dealing with the groups and development. That is social anthropology. Sociology. Coming to sociology, there was a famous man named Auguste Comte. During 1798 and 1857, he was the one to coin the word sociology. So, meaning that it is related to study of the society. So he has done a lot of work, and then he has come to the conclusion, and he was the person to coin the word sociology. And he said that analysis of society as a development and change. Social static refers to institutions like family and community, etc. So Hawkins was also another person. During that time, he also have said that there is a relationship between illness and social principles. And he was also a very famous man, one of the person. And Herbert Spencer, he also was one who has accounted for successive generation of sociological units. He has said how it was flowing from one generation to other. And then he said that the units are mainly family, political organization, religious structures, and industry. So, social process is nothing but it is the social control and interrelationship between two elements of society. So, society as a unit of sociological analysis. Others of societies and institutions. So Max Weber, he was the one who said that sociology is very broad and all items of individual behavior has both psychology and interpersonal elements. Social relationships. This is very important. Actually, if you all want, you can make a note in your long book. Usually, you get a short question on doctor-patient relationship. So you should be able to write what it means. It is the social relationship, and the institution is like an hospital. And then similarly, in the family, who are there? All husband, wife, children, others. So understanding the health problem, like for example, malnutrition in a child in the family, then we should be able to understand what the problem is, whether there is a deficiency in the diet which is given to the child, like in terms of calories, that is carbohydrates, and proteins, pulses. I will use all the common terms because you just entered the medical college. So poverty means what? We will come across, and I will explain to you all what poverty means. Who is below poverty line? I will tell you all. So poverty means wherein they have no purchasing capacity. They cannot buy. They have limited money. So in that money, what they have to live. So that is called poverty. So because of the faulty feeding habits. This malnutrition can be, just an example, and it can be due to feeding practices which are fault at fault, then the ignorance of the mother or the family about the nutrient values of the foods which they give, and then the cooking practices. All these are social factors. Don't you all think that it is all social factors? You never realized it, that there are so many social factors, and our daily life is, this is how we are practicing since generations. So community diagnosis, to find out how people live, what they do, it is finding out the community problems through diagnosis, through a survey, that is called community diagnosis, which you will be taught later in the next other chapters. Then health behavior is like, it can be at individual level, or it can be at group level, or community level. Okay, human behavior. Human behavior, it's like related to health, which can promote healthy living, promote, it can protect or preserve. The sickness behavior, when somebody is sick at home, how the sick person behaves, that is also very important for us to know how to take care of the sick person when they are admitted in the hospital. So their behavior is not like a healthy behavior, it is something different. If you know how the sick person behaves, it is easy for you to treat the patient. It is ultimately treating the patient, is not prescribing the medicines and doing the procedures. You should know how to deal with them. You should, so you need to know their behavior, how they behave during sickness. Then the treatment behavior. You may be prescribing, but then the patient may not be taking the medicines. So the treatment behavior is also very important. They may not take it, or they may take it irregularly. It is on the behavior of the patient. So if you know the behavior pattern of at individual level as a sick person, then it is very easy for you to take care as a physician. So poor utilization of preventive services, like for example, if we provide immunization services, but the mother do not bring the child for immunization, then it is poor utilization of services. Preventive services is to prevent a disease, we vaccinate. Now what is government doing? Government of India, they are vaccinating all the total population in our country. Why? To prevent COVID disease. So it is preventive service. And then the positive behavior. Because of the people's behavior, positive behavior, we could eradicate the dreadful disease which is smallpox, and then we could eliminate polio in from our country. Then the sociological methods. What are the different methods used to study the social factors in humans? One is KAP study. KAP study is knowledge, attitude, and practices, and the case studies. So the cases usually we take a case and then we make a study. Then the sociological studies. Such studies need knowledge and skills in social sciences, behavioral sciences. What is the difference between anthropology and sociology? When you look at anthropology, it is the study of man in primitive stage. But in sociology, it is a civilized man. It is a study of society in anthropology, but in the components of the society in sociology. And it is anthropology is very much related to behavior or record customs, and this rely on statistics and questioning. This is the difference. Sometimes it is asked as a 4 marks question in your uh, community medicine. Social context. Man is a social being, he is a social animal. So, there are various social and economic factors which will influence the health, and it has a direct bearing on incidence of the disease, both communicable diseases and the course and outcome of non-communicable diseases. I will tell you all what communicable and non-communicable diseases mean. Communicable diseases are the diseases like COVID, which can be transmitted from one person to other. Non-communicable means which cannot be transmitted from a person to the other person, like for example diabetes. I think you now you know both the diseases. That's why I'm using the common diseases so that you all can understand. The important effect on health is mainly the poverty. Because of poverty, because of their low purchasing capacity, there is malnutrition, and there is the sanitation is very poor, and lack of education, inadequate housing, unemployment, poor working conditions, cultural and behavior factors. All these are related to health and all predisposed to sickness, ill health. The social factors which are influencing health are the demographic factors. The demography means it is how the people are distributed, age wise, gender wise, etc. Which there is a chapter on demography which we will be teaching you all in demography. And the economic factors, the social factors, legal. I told you all about judiciary. Then religion plays a very vital role in health, because each one have their own things to be followed according to their religion. And then the education is so important that if a person gets educated, they can seek health care as and when needed. So education plays an important role. And technology, you all know, I think you all are, know about how to use computer, then the computer programs. Nowadays technology is so vast, and if you just someone is there in America or in Canada or Australia or United Kingdom, just in seconds you can text them through WhatsApp. So that is the technology. So in health also, the technology is like we can use technology and ensure the people are healthy, and we can follow them up. So that is how the technology helps us, and all these form the social structure factors. What are the predisposing factors? The predisposing factors are the current circumstances. Yes, what do you want? Excuse me? individual predispositions. So these two are very important, which are called the predisposing factors, and the outcome is the health. Social factors. The social factors are social factors are communication, uh, then the migration. People like to migrate from one country to other for various reasons, especially in terms of earning more money and because of the environment, because of the social structure, better social structure, etc. Urbanization from the rural areas whenever there is a famine or whenever there is a monsoon failure, they like to migrate to the cities to make a living. So that is urbanization. Now the urbanization is around 30% in our country. So 70% people live in rural areas and 30% live in urban areas. You all know in urban areas there is more individualism and there is no collectiveness. Unlike in rural areas, it is collectiveness. If something happens, the whole of village supports them. But in urban area, it is the individual family who has to take care of everything. So that plays an important role in sickness. Ultimately, today our whole focus is on the social factors or the sociology related in terms of health as well as sickness or ill health. So, life expectancy. What is life expectancy? Life expectancy means a person after a child who is born, how long the child is going to survive. In India, it is around 65 years. So, the life expectancy goes on increasing with improvement in housing, nutrition, etc. When the life expectancy increases, then we have the problem of chronic diseases. What are these chronic diseases? I will just tell what you know because you all are new to the college. So diabetes, it is a chronic disease. Then comes our marriage. Marriage is a social institution. What happens is there is a pattern the social pattern which is coming since ages, and the same pattern is followed from generations in their families. That's why marriage is called a social institution. It is the pattern which is accepted by that community. So marriage is a social institution. They just cannot do whatever they like. That's why when children, usually when they want to, the teenagers or they whatever it is adults, they want to get married, and of the different religions or caste, then they will actually negotiate, and then they will say, uh, means their marriage should take place as per the decisions taken between the two parties. So because marriage is an institution. Then coming to fertility. Fertility means the women who is in the reproductive age group, the number of children she can produce. That is the fertility. That is called fertility. I am giving all the definitions to you all because you all are new and you just entered the medical school. So role of women is very important in any family or in the community, because if a woman is educated, the whole family is educated. If a man is educated, he is just educated for himself, because it is the women who plays a very important role in the family as well as in the community. She is the one who is going to take care of the whole family, including the children, husband and others, in-laws or whoever it is. So role of women is also very important. All these are related to the, they have a predisposition, ecological predisposition. Ecological predisposition and opportunities of the situations, they are two sides. They can go from this side to that side to this side. Like if there is an ecological predisposition, it can result in opportunity, and there is an opportunity or the situations in such a way, they can be a ecological predisposition, and all these predisposing factors result in health. Am I clear to you all? I just cannot see you all because it's an online class. Coming to community health, this is our department. Community health is our department. So, the common theme of community health and social sciences, it is one and the same. It is related to human behavior. Again, I repeat, human behavior. So, the basic problem is why people behave so. Why do they do that? Like, for example, I told you all about immunization. Immunization means vaccination. So, when vaccination is provided to the population, to the people of the country, some of them do not want to take it. Like, for example, I know few of my doctors, the junior doctors, when I have taken my 2 shots for COVID, they didn't want it to take. Then when I have asked them why they don't want to take it, they said that because it is still in the trial mode. See, that is the behavior. Though they are doctors, they are the postgraduates, still they didn't want it to take, but we cannot force them. So that is the behavior. Why they do so, we want to find out, and then we have to take corrective action. In the similar way, the government wanted to provide family planning services, but the family planning services are not accepted by the people because they think that uh, it is their choice. They want to have more children, or they don't want to have, or they want only one child. It is their desire and it is their right. So, but we want to know why they want to do like that. There is a reason for everything. There is a reason. So the social scientists in India, they have studied about this problem. In the Western world, when they started working on the problems related to mental health and how the organization has to work, social class in the disease, the people who have the disease, to which social class do they belong, and the rehabilitation services, what are required for them, then the professional roles and relationships. So in the Western world, they wanted to find out about, because it is their priority. Disease is mental health problem is very high in Western world compared to India. So Indian science, social scientists, they wanted to find out about our problems in the, and the Western world wanted to do uh, based on their priorities. Coming to clinical medicine, most of these communicable diseases, communicable disease means, what did I say? Those which can be transmitted from one person to other. I gave the example of COVID-19. COVID-19 is a communicable disease. So once the most of uh, except for the COVID, most of these communicable diseases, they are under control. And now our focus is on non-communicable diseases like heart attack, cancers, diabetes, and mental health problem. So they wanted to find out the stress related to these diseases, physiological stress reactions, especially in rheumatoid arthritis, obesity, ulcers of the intestine, skin disease, constipation, diarrhea, epilepsy. So they wanted to find out changes in behavior and habits. So clinical medicine, um, it is the illness behavior noted by the clinicians. Clinicians, because the patients approach the clinicians, they wanted to find out their behavior during illness. Then the medical sociology has come. The most important, as I told you all, doctor-patient relationship is a short question. It is a 4 marks question. Please make note of it, and once you just go through it, You will really like it, and you will after you come to the college or to the hospital, we will see, you can see how a doctor talks to the patient and what the patient expects from the doctor, and you can see how a relation is established between a physician and a patient. So it is called doctor patient relationship. It will help in taking care of the patient, and also the hospitalization, hospital organization, and the treatment, cultural, all will come to know about everything, and it is easier for us to take care of them. Then the physician needs both medical and social knowledge to serve the patient and community. Epidemiology, I don't want to talk about it. We'll talk later because it is too much for you all. Um, Yeah, social and behavior sciences. Social and behavior sciences, again, it is related to human behavior. Here I am just reinforcing about the economics, the political science, the sociology, and social psychology. The behavior sciences, it is applied in to sociology, social psychology, anthropology, because they directly deal with human behavior. Again, it's a repetition, because you should know, you should understand the pattern of human life and their behavior pattern. That's very important. We want to know how they live, what they do. And then social psychology, I told it is like psychology is a sister of sociology. So they go together, and it is related to psychology of individuals in the society or groups. And then it is understanding of their perception or attitudes, their motivation and learning as individuals, and it affects the social environment on persons, their attitudes and motivations. It's important. Anthropology, it's again the culture which I told you all, the racial differences. They wanted to know about the social life. It's a, I told you all about what sociology is. It is a Latin word which is means it is society, and Greek logos means science. So it means society, the individuals form a group, and group forms a society. So society is a group of individuals who organize themselves and follow a given way of life. They are taught in the way to live, and that is how they want to live. And sociology is study of the individuals as well as groups in a society. Relationships. What is relationships? The study of relationships between human beings, and how these change with the time and parts of the world. Like for example, when I was small, I never heard about burger, pizza, etc. Now it is the generation which only talks about burger, pizza, McDonald and all. So it has changed with time, and because of the migration, and because people travel around the world, so parts of the world, they are already eating those burgers or pizza, so they want to bring it to the along with them. So when they are here, they just want to eat the same burger. And so again, it is capitalism or business, whatever it is. Then the McDonald's are set up in our country. So the unit of study is mainly usually a small group, and the family consisting of parents and children, and it can extend beyond family, where great number of people interact or interdepend. So economics, political power, general organization, and ways of living. It's very important. Relationships. Other part is human behavior. Human behavior from the beginning, from the beginning of my class, I am going on repeating the word human behavior. So human behavior is not merely it is ground by no, conditioned by biological or social environment. It is also influenced by the social factors, the peer pressure. If there are four friends and one of them smokes, he wants to inculcate the habit of smoking among other three also. And there is a peer pressure. So that is the social factor. So every form of human behavior, it has a social component. And the social determinants of human behavior, these are the important social determinants of human behavior, and they aim for pattern of relationships and pave a way for betterment of individuals. Specialization within society. So sociology has grown up rapidly since World War II, and this has resulted in increase in specialization like medical sociology, urban rural, industrial, sociology of religion, education, criminology, hospitals sociology, and demography. Medical sociology. Medical sociology is in the field of, it's a specialization, and it is related with health behavior and medical institution. It is completely dealing with the study of health, health, health behavior and medical institution. It is defined as professional endeavor. So social cultural factors. Cultural factors is the values which we have for our own culture. Like for example, every family they have a way of living. They have their cultural factors. So they want to stick on to that. It has come, the pattern has been followed from generation to generation. So the social relationship in connection with illness. For example, if someone falls sick in the family, all the relations they come, close relations, they come, they attend, they talk to the sick person and to the family members, and they extend help. Ultimately they want to extend help during the sick time. So those are all nothing but they are the relationships and the social principles in medical organization and treatment. Concept of sociology. The concept of sociology is again, it is dealing with structure, institution, society. And it plays an important role in uh, playing a role in socialization and control mechanism. Usually when a child is there, we don't allow the child to go alone. Anytime an adult likes to be to accompany the child, that is the control mechanism, social control mechanism. So cultures, customs are important. Acculturation, I will tell you all about acculturation later. Acculturation, I'll just tell what it is, but we'll discuss in detail in future. So acculturation is like cross culture. Like some of our friends or some of our family members, they live to United Kingdom, and their Western culture is different from our Indian culture. And because they come in contact with the Western culture, they are born to have influence of that culture on them because they are living there. So there is a cross culturation, there is a contact culture, and that is called acculturation. Did you all understand what I meant? And it's very important to know about the social problems. It is also, you get it as a short question, social problems, social pathology. Social pathology means illness, something wrong. The body is not functioning normal. So there is some abnormality, something going wrong in the body. That is pathology. So you have a subject called pathology in your second year. So social pathology is also a short notes. Social survey means doing a survey and finding out about all the relationships how they live, what are their problems, etc. That is social service. Society. Society is formed by group of people, and the group of people are again by the individuals. All individuals collectively form a group, and the groups form a society. Like it is an organization of member agents. And you all know, if you are in the urban areas, if you are staying in apartments, you have a society of your apartments. In that society there are members. All the those who are living in the apartments, they become the members, and then they can take a decision whenever they want to do something in for that all of the members. So they take a each one take their role, and they want to have regular meetings, etc. So it is like controlling and regulating behavior of individuals by law or customs, and pressure to conform to norms, whatever norms are there. Like if they you are residing in a society where in the apartments they say that you had to come by 10 p.m., otherwise then you had to ask the tell the gate night watchman. All these are norms which are laid down by the people. So that is called society. So society has a wide network of relationships and compulsions also. It's not only relationships, there are compulsions. You just cannot do what we like. We are bound by the norms, and it has a direct and constant man's individual efforts. It is dynamic and it changes over time and place. So public health means what we are dealing now. Like for the COVID, it's a public health problem because it occurred throughout the world, and then most of the population, all of us are at risk because it is a novel virus, it is a new virus. So public health is an integral part of the social system, and it is influenced by society, and society by public health. Community, it's a sociological unit of individuals who come together. It's a homogeneous. The individuals are of having a common interest to satisfy their day-to-day needs. This you can see in these laborers, construction laborers. The whole family goes for the work, and they have a common interest and to satisfy their day-to-day needs. So characteristics of the community, it is they have a boundary, geographic delimitation, and then in society no delimitation exists. It's like people. The community indicates strong bond of identification. Like in a village, if they are living in a village, they say that it is their village. Means that that is how the community sees that they have a strong bond of identification. And the occupational groups, they are always dispersed over an area, and it cannot be delimited, and we cannot call it as a community. Occupational groups, because these occupational groups, they come together from various places. For example, you take IT professionals of any company, maybe Infosys, who are working in Hyderabad. Then they come from different places, different states, and they do not belong to one area, and they come from different areas. So they that occupational group cannot be called as a community, but village, yes, it has a strong bond of identification, and we can call it as a community. The objective of group formation, the objective is to meet daily needs, and functionally they aggregate, they share common culture, they exhibit awareness about their uniqueness, and they identify as group. Self-reliance are not totally self-reliant, but they are self-reliant from their on their point of day-to-day needs. So presence of institutions. Institution carries highly generalized activities, as I told you, or what the institution means. Like marriage is an institution, and it creates itself the society or the people, they create within itself. The society is created within itself, and it will provide day-to-day basis goods and services necessary for continuity. Like for example, schools are institutions, our college is an institution, hospital is an institution, church is an institution. All these are institutions. Social structure. Social structure gives community its uniqueness, and there is a pattern of relationships between persons, interrelationships, and it has a structure and major institutions groups. Power structure, we say no, Ambani, Reliance. So we call he is a like powerful man. Is a businessman. So it's their institutions are major institutions. So I am just giving an example so that it will be easy for you all to remember. So social structure it provides the basis for differentiation of communities. And just like anatomy, physiology, etc. Anatomy is structure, physiology is function, so it is organization. Just remember this. This is asked in your Viva. When you tell that the patient is from rural area, what do you mean by rural area or a village? Village is a basic unit of rural area. It is a recognized unit. It has definite boundaries and it has land records. In urban area, it is within a municipality, municipal corporation or cantonment or notified town area. A minimum population of 5,000 exists in an urban area, and 75% of the males should work in a given city or a town to say that it is an urban area in non-agricultural sector. Got it? Non-agriculture sector. And minimum population density is 4,000 persons per square meter. So, which is the highly dense city in the world? Find out and let me know in my next class. Urbanization. Urbanization is a continuous process, and population concentration increases in size, and few points of population concentration emerge. Occupational diversification. People of different occupations stay together in an urban area, unlike in rural areas wherein mainly they live in the villages and all of them, almost all, do agriculture. So there is a diversification of occupations in urban setup. They may start dwellings on secondary type or tertiary type, and starting point cannot be shown with precision. Unlike in a village wherein you have a boundary. Effects of urbanization. What are the demographic effects? Demo means people. Mm, the way people live. That is demographic. What is the effect? There are fastest rates seen in underdeveloped country. Urbanization is going very fast. When you look at United Kingdom, 92% of them are living in urban areas in 1985 itself. In India, in 2000, in 1901, it was 10.8%, but in the latest census, 2011, it is 31.1% documented. So, effect of urbanization, ecological effect. Ecological means the surroundings which influence the community, influence the community. So there are spatial and temporal patterns in the community life. Urbanization changes and reorganizes all the zones like residential zones, industrial areas, marketplaces. The process is called segregation. So there are so many things in a city. If you are from a city, you know that there are wholesalers, retailers, storage, transportation, then you have the airports, etc. Then town planning accounts for the segregation. So town planning plays a very important role in segregating these areas for the convenience of the people. And the residential area shows segregation according to the type of households and socio-economic or racial status. So bureaucracy is government. Then stratification is dividing into strata like high income groups, middle income groups, low income groups, etc. Then this produces what? Complexity in the people who are living in the towns or in the cities. And caste system, still the caste system is existing in our country. And urban areas are like earmarked by the socio-economic status, and there are also associations existing in the urban areas which are voluntary associations. uh, Alienation of labor behavior, like because they have moved from rural area to urban area, they are not used to the labor work, but the labor is external to the worker. He do not feel comfortable, he feels very unhappy because there is a forced labor. They are new to the place, and then the fellow men, they cut off their things because they are away from the people whom they really like, and they are when they were in the villages. So it is like they feel that they are trapped in a situation which does not mean anything to them, and they are deprived of the ties, relationships, and in search of identity. They are in search of identity which was there when they were in rural area. That is the difference between urban and rural behavior. So, in urban areas, they feel that there is no norms, and then the environment looks opaque. They have difficulties, they cannot understand easily, and they have that frequent, regular, consolidated social acts and interactions. They're like machines are replacing the men, and manufacturing replaces hard work. That is how urban setup is, like in equilibrium in social relationships and organization. This is called anomy. Aspirations. The marked difference in educational and occupational aspirations in both urban and rural areas. The opportunities differ, and the urban schools provide stimulating climate, occupational opportunities, wider range, and wider aspirations. The effects of on health. Here I will stop. I'll take in the next class because it will be too much for you all and the time is up. Thank you all very much. If you have questions, kindly post me. I am Dr. Sugna. I am the professor in the Department of Community Medicine of MIMS.